Hi again. I was at a garage sale about a month ago and I picked up a box of magazines, old music magazines from the 70s and early 80s, and a few 45s and some other things. I'll just show you some of these. Different from records, although I have some 45s here. Petula Clark, My Love, her great hit from about 1965. This one's kind of funny. It's called Moose Calling. Instructions for Moose Calls. Bird and Game Calls. I guess if you're a moose hunter, you can learn the calls and have that moose come right to you. Go British Columbia, words and music by Bobby Jimby. British Columbia's 100th anniversary was in 1971. That's the anniversary of joining Canada. Canada was formed in 1867, but BC didn't come until 1971. An original copy of the Rolling Stones' She's a Rainbow on 45 with a picture sleeve. On the flip side we have 2,000 Light Years from Home. The Beatles' Lady Madonna and Inner Light with a picture sleeve. And the Rolling Stones' Let's Spend the Night Together, Ruby Tuesday, original with picture sleeve. This is a book called Mr. Mojo Risin', The Last Holy Fool, Jim Morrison, by David Dalton. It's not a great book, I don't think. It's more photos, not that much commentary. And there were a bunch of guitar players. This is 1975, featuring John Entwistle, Jeff Beck, Jim Stafford. This is a really good issue, September 1981. It's the Ventures issue. I love the Ventures. This is 1982, Neil Schon of Journey. Another magazine that I'd never seen before, International Musician and Recording World, featuring a big article on Paul McCartney, and there's Foreigner and Grace Slick. This is from 1981. And a Canadian magazine. It's called Canadian Musician, and this was only in print, I think, for about 3 or 4 years in the early 80s. This is Kim Mitchell of Max Webster. This was around the time he went solo after leaving Max Webster. This magazine is non-musical, but it's one that I used to read a lot, and I used to buy it a lot. It was called Omni, and it was science fiction, science future. It was an excellent magazine. Now, Rolling Stones. This is from 1981, and it's kind of topical. Roman Polanski recently they've been trying to extradite him, or America's been trying to get him out of Switzerland or somewhere. This is when he went on The Lam, back in 1981. This is from 1980, it's The Pretenders, when they were doing their first American tour. There's an article in here about Jim Morrison as well. Here's The Cars. This is from 1980. Pete Townsend from 1980. There's also a Paul McCartney article in here. Hi-Fi 1980. You can see those great hi-fi systems from 1980. This is the Rolling Stones. Monuments of Rock, the band that refuses to die. They were talking about the death of the Rolling Stones in 1980, and I guess they still are today. Perhaps they're going on their last tour in the next year or so. Also, this article here, Big Business and Old Records, How Much is Your Collection Worth? They were talking about that in 1980. This is the famous Annie Leibovitz issue. This photograph was taken just before the death of John Lennon. This is from January of 1981. This is one of my favorite Rolling Stone covers. Jim Morrison, he's hot, he's sexy, and he's dead. 1981. Here's another short-lived Canadian music newspaper. It's called Music Express, and this is Bob and Doug McKenzie, the two hosers, drinking their beer with the Stubbies. There's also articles on the Moody Blues and Black Sabbath. This is a cool one to get. Guitar Player Magazine, Volume 1, 1967. In this one book or magazine, it's the entire first year issue of Guitar Player Magazine. And this is the 10th anniversary issue of Rolling Stone from December of 1977 with articles by Dr. Hunter Thompson, and there's a huge photo selection in here by Annie Leibovitz. There we go. Thanks for watching.